Hi everyone. My name is Major Amanda Harder, and I am the Bilateral Affairs Officer for the U.S. Embassy Budapest. I am joined by Major General Matthew Woodruff, the Adjutant General for the Ohio National Guard. Sir, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, first question, what is an Adjutant General?
It's a great question. So the Adjutant General is the senior military leader in a state or territory in the United States. So I am an advisor to Governor DeWine for the great state of Ohio. I'm a member of his cabinet, and then also I command the Ohio National Guard, both the Army and the Air National Guard.
Wow. Commanding the Ohio Army and Air National Guard. How many soldiers and airmen is that?
So we're at about 16,000 Army and Air in the Ohio National Guard, and it's pretty impressive. And then civilians all added in there.
Yeah.
So very diverse service members, anywhere from logistics to infantry to fighter pilots and refueling aircraft.
Medics and nurses, right?
Medics and nurses as well.
Always medical. So, very important question. I get asked all the time. How in the world did Ohio and Hungary partner? Do you know the history?
So a little bit of the history is, in the 90s when the wall fell and the Soviet Union collapsed, the State Department, the United States wanted to have influence in Europe, and some of the European satellite nations of the Soviet Union were looking for ways to be more westernized. And so 1993 came and the State Partnership Program, which was a National Guard program with the State Department, arose to kind of fill that gap and be able to grow capabilities through potential new partners. And Hungary was one of the countries in the initial offering of partnerships, and Ohio applied for that. So Ohio applied because we have a large diaspora of Hungarians in mostly northern Ohio when you look at the Toledo to Cleveland area. So there's a significant population of Hungarians in the north. And so we applied and used some of those details in our application, and our governor was fully on board. And so we were then selected to be their partner.
That's awesome. 1993 is awfully early. Was that before or after their accession to NATO?
So that was before. So they were assessed into NATO in 1999. And so from 1993 to 1999, we continued to develop this partnership. Did a lot of engagements and exercises, and usually that first couple years is really about building relationships. So you're just starting to learn who each other are. You're starting to figure out what capabilities each of us have, and then how do we work together so that we both grow and benefit. So we had about 6 years of partnering together to really become NATO partners together in the future.
So in those early years, what were some capabilities that were identified, that were shared?
So a lot of the things they did, there's medical that we've engaged in, a lot of engineering and building. So our 200th Red Horse would come over to Hungary and they would do projects. So school redesigns, facility improvements, buildings. There's always been an infantry tie when you talk about some of the exercises that we do. So we've just been able to find commonalities across both Hungarian Defense Forces and Ohio National Guard service members.
Explains why I ate a lot of chicken paprikash when I was little. Did you have the same family recipes?
I did not. My wife is absolutely fabulous at chicken paprikash.
Yeah, see? There's always a tie back. There's always a tie. So I know this isn't your first visit, but what are you hoping to get out of this visit? And how many times have you been here?
So I think my first visit was around 2016. So I think this is about 9 visits for me. I always love coming back to Hungary. There's just so many things about this country, the people, their defense forces, leadership that I've just been enamored with from the first visit to now.
Yeah.
This visit here is extra special, in all honesty. There's a lot of change going on in Hungary right now. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to grow together. So there are capabilities we want to expand in Ohio, as well as hopefully influence and expand here in Hungary as well. So I look at things like cyber, which is really critical for us in the US. It's also critical here. So we've got to figure out, how do we come together? How do we grow our cyber capabilities? How do we do more in the medical field to ensure that Hungarians have access to healthcare whenever they need it? And is there a way that we can do military to military exchanges to improve some of those things? We've got traditional exercises that we do all the time. How do we make those better? How do we make them stronger to close gaps for NATO capabilities, and so that our service members, when they leave Hungary and come home, are better as well? And over 9 years, every exercise shows growth on both sides. The U.S. soldiers and airmen that come home are always better because of the engagements they've had.
I think one of the most interesting parts of the State Partnership Program is the tenure at which senior leaders come over. So let's see, it's 2026, you came over 9 years ago. What rank were you then?
I was a lieutenant colonel the first time I came to Hungary, and it was for a planning conference. It was in kind of the Christmas time frame. So first exposure is a good exposure in the winter.
Oh, you had to come to Budapest at Christmas?
During Christmas markets. So it was really a tough duty.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, absolutely. but I will say that we got a lot done, and we worked through planning for events that were going to happen that following summer. And it was focused primarily on natural disaster, flooding, domestic response, and how do we support the citizens of Ohio, and how do we translate that and improve support to the citizens of Hungary in a national defense and domestic response.
So you came over as a lieutenant colonel.
Yes.
Have you seen that relationship expand as you've gone up in rank and the Hungarian Defense Force peers have gone up in rank? Have you been able to build and maintain and expound on those times?
Yeah, I think, you develop relationships when you first arrive, and you hope that they're going to continue to be there and flourish over years. I never would have imagined the individual I met on my first trip is still in the Hungarian Defense Forces. We hug every time we see each other. It's a very close relationship. So what you start is this professional partnership. You build friendships and relationships, and you learn about their families, and you have dinner together, and you're just spending time getting to know one another. And it's what makes it an amazing event that we can come together like this. We're sometimes a language barrier, but we work together to try to figure out how do we communicate effectively.
Lots of hand signals.
There's just a lot of hugs, when it comes to me. But yeah, you'll develop great relationships, and the leadership that's in place are people that I met 5 years ago, and I've known for several years through engagements and exercises as well.
Yeah, it's very authentic, very genuine. That trust is unique.
Absolutely.
So what has been one of your favorite experiences that you've had?
So I probably have a couple. I'll start with one that was not in Hungary, but I had the opportunity to lead our infantry brigade at the Joint Readiness Training Center in Fort Polk, Louisiana. And we were able to take a Hungarian convoy from the Territorial Defense Force at the time with us to that rotation. And so watching them train alongside us for 30 days in an extremely hot, humid environment was an incredible opportunity. And I got to come a couple of times ahead of that exercise just to evaluate where we were on our training to ensure that we would be successful. And so when I came over here and watched their training exercise, I told them I wouldn't have known the difference between the regular Hungarian Defense Forces, the Territorial Defense Forces at the time, and then an Ohio National Guard soldier. They were that professional. They were highly trained. They were heavily equipped with the newest, latest, greatest technologies. It was just a great experience. Every time I come here, I get to see some amazing things, but I would say the most impactful things I get to do are the engagements with the different leaders. The soldiers and airmen that come over here and train and exercise and plan together make significant impacts. At my level, it's really about influencing how do we do things better, both from a Ohio National Guard perspective, as well as how do we influence improvements at the Hungarian Defense Force level. And the leaders are always extremely receptive to growth. And I think that's because we feel the same way. It is not a one-way street. We are not coming here to share wisdom. We are coming here to grow together, to both become better services out of this exercise or this engagement so that we go home, more qualified and able to do whatever the mission is.
I have to ask if bringing Hungarian Defense Forces to Fort Polk, Louisiana in the summer is the best thing for security cooperations, though, sir. It's amazing that they still want to invite you to their house.
Well, they did get one day in New Orleans.
All right, that's
so I
good.
think
that's
that
good.
probably made it worth it. I will tell you, it was one of the hottest, most miserable exercises I've ever done in my life, but I loved every day of it.
Well, you definitely bonded.
We absolutely bonded, and I gave one of the leaders a pair of my combat boots because we found out we wear the same boot and the same size, and I happened to have a brand new pair, and so I gave them to him because they did so well in that exercise.
The brand new boots you gave
The
him.
brand new boots.
That's nice of you. That's awesome.
I did,
That's
yeah.
really nice. So I have to ask, what is the goal for this visit, and what makes this visit special?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of change in Hungary right now. So it's kind of exciting because it feels like there's a lot of things that we can do to shape what the future is going to hold so that we as Ohioans get better and we can help enforce what the Hungarian Defense Forces and the Ministry of Defense are looking to achieve in the next several years out of their defense forces. So, we have some exciting meetings scheduled. We're going to have the opportunity to meet with some of the leadership and hopefully share some ideas about areas we would like to grow in and where they align with the Hungarian Defense Forces, lines of effort or their ideas for the future. Then we can partner those up and develop exercises to increase capabilities.
Your visit is very timely. There's lots of going on right now.
It's exciting.
And there's also an opportunity for you to meet with soldiers this week, correct?
That's correct. So we'll have Exercise Neighbors, which is where Hungarian Defense Forces, the Serbian Armed Forces, and Ohio National Guard, every year we do this exercise. It's a trilateral, and it rotates between Hungary and Serbia every year. It happens to be in Hungary this year, and so we'll get to see infantry, squad maneuver, platoon exercises. So it's always exciting to spend time with soldiers. That's what I grew up doing. So anytime I can get out in the dirt and walk around with some of our friends and partners, it's a good day.
That's awesome. Final question, sir. Most important question.
Yes.
As Central Europeans. What is your favorite Hungarian dish, and what are you going to have? When are you going to have it?
Oh, wow. So, I would probably say chicken paprikash is my favorite.
You took my answer.
But my second favorite would probably be the goulash, and I would guess I will probably have it one evening this week. I'm not sure tonight because I'm not really sure where we're going.
It's a surprise.
What's that? It's a surprise?
No, it's a Hungarian restaurant.
Oh, so
It's the same
I'm
place we went
probably
last
having
year.
it tonight.
Yeah, probably.
And yours is?
Chicken paprikash, always,
Yeah.
always. And I was introduced to lecho, which is like, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's like a Hungarian ratatouille. And it's just really, really good stewed vegetables.
Yeah. I take a jar of the paprika paste home every time I'm here because you cannot get that in the United States at the same quality that you get it here, and just a little dab of that in your soup is amazing.
I made the mistake the first time I went home for Christmas. I brought home some Eros pista, some unicum, some wine, and the spiral cheese. And now the expectation is every time I come home, I basically bring a charcuterie board with me of meats and cheeses. So
I do have to clarify something.
Yes.
I have a bit of a sweet tooth.
Oh.
So one of my favorite things is the chimney cake. And I know that may not be Hungarian, but it's definitely European.
I think Hungary can claim
And
it as theirs.
it's a pretty amazing dessert to have in the evenings. So I will probably have one of those at some point this week.
Guilty confession, they have one that's filled with ice cream.
Oh, I know. I know where most of the chimney cake stores are around here.
Absolutely. Well, maybe I'll join you for that. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll all have a group dessert.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, sir. Final question. Do you know how to say cheers?
Take a shake a dry.
Good. To your health.